I'm Pat Iyer. Legal nurse consultants are well positioned to make a significant impact on personal injury cases, but many don't realize just how much value they can offer. Too often, legal nurse consultants limit themselves to timelines and summaries, but attorneys need much more than that. They need your critical thinking. They need your insight. They need your ability to interpret the medical side of the case and connect the dots in ways that drive strategy and support and resolution. In this video, I'll take you through several of the most effective ways to make yourself truly indispensable to personal injury attorneys. If you want the complete list of all 9 strategies with practical ideas and examples, download my free guide, 9 Ways to Make Yourself Invaluable to Personal Injury Attorneys. Let's start. Hi, I'm Pat Iyer. I've worked on thousands of personal injury cases. Let's start with a role every LNC could play with a personal injury case. Number 1, medical record review and analysis. At a glance, reviewing records may seem routine, but what sets a skilled LNC apart is the ability to extract meaning from the mass. Attorneys receive boxes or megabytes of medical records. They're often disorganized, duplicative, and unclear. Without clinical training, it's almost impossible for attorneys to figure out what matters. That's where you step in. You don't just summarize, you prioritize. You clarify. For example, maybe the attorney's client had a pre-existing condition that was worsened by the incident. You identify what changed, when, and how. You differentiate what's new from what's chronic. That insight alone can dramatically influence the value of a case. Or perhaps you spot a delay in treatment that the attorney hadn't considered. You highlight it and you explain the potential significance, backed by clinical knowledge. This isn't just helpful, it's case-changing. Number 2, creating a chronology of events. Think of a chronology as a map. It takes a complex clinical journey and turns it into a navigable path for the attorney. But a powerful chronology does more than list dates. It identifies patterns. It draws attention to shifts in condition, interruptions in care, and delays in treatment. Say, for example, the plaintiff was discharged from the ED without adequate imaging, and 2 days later returned with neurological deficits. That sequence might be buried in dozens of pages, but your chronology brings it to the surface. Now, the attorney sees not just what happened, but why it matters. If you want to make an impression, add a separate report that explains key findings and questions that arise. This kind of value-added thinking turns your work into a strategic tool. Number 3, identify missing records or information. You can't analyze what you don't have, and attorneys don't often realize what's missing. As a clinician, you understand the standard flow of care. If a patient had surgery, but there are no post-op records, that's something to flag. Maybe the attorney didn't think to request the rehab records, or the imaging reports are missing, or there's no pre-hospital EMS documentation. You can catch those gaps, and you bring them up early before they cause problems during deposition or trial. Think of it this way. You're helping the attorney avoid surprises. You're the person scanning the landscape for blind spots. That makes you an asset they can trust. Now that we've covered those 3 strategies in detail, let's take a look at the other 6, each one designed to increase your visibility, value, and long-term client relationships. Number 4, medical summaries and reports. Attorneys are often juggling multiple cases and they need quick refreshers. A crisp, well-organized summary can make you their go-to resource. When you learn how to tailor your reports, brief when time is short, detailed when depth is needed, you become a true partner. The guide I encourage you to request gives structure options and phrasing tips that will make your summaries shine. Point 5, interpretation of medical terminology. Here's the truth. Many attorneys bluff their way through medical language. They'll nod at opposing counsel as they discuss cauda equina syndrome and subdural hematoma, but they don't really get the clinical nuances. You can explain what these terms mean clearly, accurately, and in plain English. This not only helps your client feel more confident, it helps them prep for depositions and respond to expert reports more strategically. Number 6, assessing the standards of care. Most personal injury cases aren't classic malpractice, but they often bump up against questions of appropriate care. Was the delay in imaging reasonable? Did discharge instructions meet expectations? You're not offering legal opinions, but your clinical knowledge helps identify when the standard may not have been met. That insight shapes discovery and sharpens the focus of the case. Number 7, the report covers expert witness identification and communication. Attorneys may not know what kind of expert they need or where to find one. You can suggest specialties, screen curriculum vitae, and make introductions. You can also help keep the expert on track, ensuring that the reports are clear, deadlines are met, and language isn't unnecessarily complex. When an LNC manages the expert process, the attorney's burden drops significantly. Number 8, case strategy and development. Experienced LNCs think like litigators. You anticipate how a jury will hear the story. You flag weaknesses early. You strengthen timelines, identify comparative negligence issues, and offer insight into causation. You don't just deliver documents. You help shape the direction of the case. Point 9, you can provide support during depositions and trial. You can prep the attorney with medical questions. You can monitor live testimony and send text clarifications. You can help develop visuals to educate the jury. Your presence, quiet, focused, prepared, can help the attorney feel more supported and confident at every stage. Making yourself indispensable doesn't mean doing everything. It means knowing what attorneys need and offering it consistently, clearly, and confidently. The strategies I've shared in this video are just a sample of all 9 ways and the tools to put them into action. Download the full guide, 9 ways to make yourself invaluable to personal injury attorneys. It's free, and it's packed with examples, tips, and templates that will help you build deeper relationships and become your client's preferred LNC. Get your copy at LNC.tips/invaluable. That's LNC.tips/invaluable. Attorneys are under pressure. They're looking for professionals who can make their jobs easier, who can add insight, clarity, and confidence. This guide shows you how to become that person. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to hearing how you can use these strategies in your business.